Well, back home on the Lal Street yesterday, the bulls gained for the second day in a row. The Nifty and the Sensex gained 0.5%, with the Nifty reclaiming 10,800 on an intraday basis. The Sensex too shot up 140 points to close just below 35,900. The Nifty Bank also rose in line with the benchmark indices, but it was the mid-caps that outperformed, with the index rallying over 1%. Rima joins in to fill us in on all the expectations from today's trade. Rima, morning.
Hi, Ekta. Good morning. Yes, the last 2 days have been good for our markets. You get the sense that perhaps the market is bottomed out just in the near term, but we've woken up to a bit of negative cues on the global front. So the Dow was down about 100 points in trade yesterday. The Nasdaq snapped. That 8-day winning streak ended lower, and it was on the back of weak economic data, as you guys have been pointing out. So the December core capital orders fell 0.7% in the U.S. market versus estimates of a minor gain. The U.S. manufacturing PMI fell to a 17-month low, and the Conference Board leading economic index was also fell for the second consecutive month in the month of January. So the economic data was a tad bit weak, and then you always have the nervousness surrounding the US-China trade talks. But despite the weakness that we've seen in the global markets, and the SGX Nifty is pretty flat, at least as we speak right now, there is some serious underperformance that the Indian markets have put in vis-a-vis the global markets, and that could be the reason why that short covering rally may just continue for our own markets. If you look at it on a year-to-date basis, the MSCI India index is down 3% versus the MSCI Emerging Market Index, which has rallied 9%. So that's a 12% underperformance, which is still there. If you look at the flows, the FIIs nibbled in, so they bought about 55 crore in the cash market, but it was the second consecutive day of buying in the cash market by the FIs. The DIs continue to pump in the market, and that seems to be helping the broader markets as well. So DIs bought about 200 crore in the cash market, buying for the 7th day in a row. The question is, it's 2 days of a rally. The broader markets are showing you some signs of life. There is some value being picked up by investors. Will that continue in the backdrop of muted global cues? That remains to be seen.
Okay, well, yes, Rima, we'll see whether we continue the momentum today or not, but that was about the market setup. Tell us, what are the stocks you're watching out for?
Keep your eye on where there is a lot of pledged shares, because RBI has called for details on the moratorium, the pledged share exposure of companies. So that would put the spotlight on names like Divan Housing, Z, etc. Kotak Mahindra Bank will be in focus, and I guess we'll be discussing this in greater details because ING will be looking to sell some stake in the bank. For JET, there are reports which suggest that State Bank of India and PNB have agreed to provide 500 crore of emergency funding. And then we had an EGM yesterday where the shareholders, we understand, have approved the conversion of debt into equity. For BEML, they've signed a certificate of partnership with Lockheed Martin at the Aero India show, which is taking place in Bangalore. But this, I don't think right now means that fresh orders or money is coming in, but it's a partnership which has been signed. SIS, that's the Securities India Services Limited, so they've made a very small acquisition. They will be buying a New Zealand-based securities company called Platform for Group Limited, or P4G, but they will be paying just about 6.5 crores for a 51% stake, so fairly small in terms of acquisition. Dynamatic Tech, the company has signed an MOU with Saab Technologies with the intent to explore future joint opportunities in commercial and defense-related works. Some brokerage notes, Citi has a neutral call on BHEL, but they've cut the target price to 70 rupees, and they've cut the target multiple on BHEL on the back of sectoral de-rating that they see. And Credit Suisse has written on Eicher Motors, where they have a neutral call, but they say the statewide trends don't look encouraging within domestic motorcycles. The company has lost share in almost all states in Q3. Kerala and Tamil Nadu have seen the sharpest market share decline. This is just assessment of the Q3 numbers, which we knew, but it's coming in from Credit Suisse. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Rima. Thanks very much for that. So that's the market setup. But just want to point out some important flashes which are on your screen, where in fact the UN Security Council has passed a resolution on the Pulwama attacks. The resolution, remember, was proposed by India, and it was backed by all countries, including China. So the UNSC resolution, in fact, has named the Jaish-e-Mohammed the terror group which was in fact responsible for the Pulwama attacks as well. So this is important news which is coming in. Remember that the United Nations Council had already condemned the Pulwama attacks in the strongest terms. So this is now the council passing a resolution on the Pulwama attacks. Important news coming in there. Well, let's move on now. We have some more news now. Network 18, in partnership with GQQII, announces India Steps Challenges starting today till the 1st of June. Take part in the challenge and stand a chance to win prizes worth 5 crores. To know more, download the GQII app.